Hey everyone, and welcome to the Plus Show. I'm your host Todd Jones, and today I have Lee Hogan from the Chamber of Commerce. And what is your official title there, Lee?
So I'm the chief marketing officer. Just came official. I guess started this year.
Oh,
So yeah, yeah.
okay. So I was thinking it was communications, but I guess it's a little bit more than that.
It's still a lot of the same stuff. Yeah, a little bit of added responsibility since
Yeah.
January.
When they
Yeah,
give you chief anything, it makes the responsibilities go up. So
yeah,
there you
yeah. I
go.
feel
Uh,
more ownership with stuff now. So yeah, I feel like it's resting on my shoulders sometimes. So yeah.
yeah. Well, let's see if we can add a little bit more pressure to you today with this interview, but we're here to talk about all things Toad Suck Days, which comes up in less than a month, actually, probably just about 2 or 3 weeks now. We're getting really close to that. And it's an event that we have annually here in Conway. So I know a lot of people who's listening have heard of Toad Suck Days, have been to it probably several times over, but every year people move to Conway, you know, and they're going, "What in the world is this Toad Suck Days?" So it's my favorite thing of interest to say to people who don't live here. Like I live in the home of Toad Suck Days, and they're like, "What?" Anyway, so can you give us a brief summary of what Toad Suck Days is for the new residents of Conway?
Okay, so Toad Suck Days is a family festival started back in 1982. So it started out at the Arkansas River at the Toad Suck Lock and Dam, or that area, Toad Suck Park, which Toad Suck the name has its own story, a lot of legend and myth. But the one that we've kind of landed on is that there was the ferry that would go across, but the lock and dam too, and that there was a kind of a tavern or a place there where barge drivers would get off and drink there at the tavern. And the legend is that they would suck on the bottles until they swelled up like toads, and so that's where the name Toad Suck came from. That's where the first festival back in 1982 was held down at the river. It moved downtown sometime in the early 90s. There was a flood that year, so they needed a new place to hold the festival, and it moved to downtown and never looked back since. So I guess more than 30 years now it's been downtown, and I mean that's where we love to have the festival every year. Helps us bring a lot of people to Conway, to downtown, to enjoy that part of our city.
I love that you dove into the history right off the bat. There are a lot of things that take place, I guess, over about a 3 day period. But for lack of better, I mean, it's really a festival, right, in the middle of May or at the beginning of May every year, and
Mhm.
it's a combination of a fair and an art show. Is what I refer to.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. It's first weekend of May every year. So if you're ever wondering when it's going to be, it's the first weekend of May. And yeah, that's true. I mean, there's fair food, there's rides, there's arts and crafts, there's music. There's a ton of kids programming and entertainment for them, fun stuff for them to do. So it's a little bit of everything. And I mean, it's grown to be Arkansas's largest festival. More than 100,000 people come every year to downtown Conway over the 3 day weekend to enjoy Toad Suck Days.
Yeah, and so if you're looking to go downtown during that weekend, beware that Parkway, Main Street, Oak, and Front are pretty much going to be blocked off.
Right. Yeah.
The closer you get to Toad Suck Square, and parking is always an issue, right? You have a number of places, businesses, and churches nearby who allow people to park in their parking lot. The closer you get, some people will actually charge $4 or $5 a car. But usually, I have found I could park somewhere, usually a church, within a block or two, and I'm just fine. And I noticed there was a something that came out this year about people who don't own the parking lot trying to sell parking passes, and I thought that seems normal. I mean, but you do have that, right? Every year, somebody's
Well,
trying to
yeah,
claim a parking lot.
I guess that's in the city of Conway. Yeah, posted about the. I guess it was around the eclipse. Yeah, saw that happen. So yeah, I mean, we're very appreciative of businesses, of churches, like you mentioned, that allow Toad Suck patrons to come in and park every year, or neighbors that have cars in front of their on the streets in front of the houses in the neighborhood surrounding or the street surrounding Toad Suck, or the area of the festival. So very appreciative of them of welcoming so many people to downtown during the weekend.
Now, somebody asked a question on Facebook the other day because I asked you, what do you want to ask? And he said, there's been a lot of road work or a lot of work going on downtown. Some of the lights for the crosswalks are down. There are various things going on, and of course, it was going on right up to Art Walk a few weeks ago, and some of it's still going on. So I guess that hopefully all that'll be done by. That may not be a Lee question. That may be a city question.
Yeah, part of that's the city. So I know I believe it was maybe the week of the eclipse, I guess the week before the eclipse. I think they were doing some timing adjustments on the stoplights throughout downtown on Oak Street. I believe they finished that up that day. I saw them, I think Conway Corp down doing some work today on Oak Street too. So, I mean, just making final preparations and stuff like that. Now the work that's being done on Locust, so that will be out of the festival area. I believe it's already out of the festival area by now. It's down more north toward Prince Street. So it will be out of the festival footprint when festival kicks off May 3rd. So we'll be good to go there too.
I can remember one year there where Wonder House used to be, and it's just kind of a vacant building now, but um, they had a car out there if people were allowed to take a sledgehammer to it. That was a pretty popular event for a while. Pay $5 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they let you go. You can take out your frustrations on that beat up old car.
Yeah,
Uh, but
I've heard some stories about that around the office. That was before my time, but yeah, I've heard some stories about that. We actually have, I believe we'll have it again this year. So this kind of jumping ahead, but Axiom Tinkerfest, kind of one
yeah,
of our main programming for kids over the weekend. We'll have a lot of stuff from Museum of Discovery out of Little Rock that they'll have a lot of science based and just fun stuff for the kids to be involved in over the weekend. But we also should have a car there. We had one last year where they kind of will have the tools to take apart the car. And I mean, you wouldn't think that kids would be able to dismantle a car. But I remember, seeing it throughout the day Saturday and then on Sunday at the end of the festival. I mean, the car was very well disassembled by the end of the weekend. And I mean, you'd see kids with glasses and a lot of tools, wrenches, screwdrivers just going to town on them. So that should be something for the kids to enjoy this year too.
Tinkerfest is usually Saturday and Sunday, right? Over here on Oak Street, kind of
Yeah.
like where the Bob's Grill is. There is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it'll extend
And
from Toad Square, I believe, down to Court Street by the end of the weekend. So yeah.
what are some of the other things you'll see at Tinkerfest? I mean, you can take apart a car. What
We'll
other
have
things can
that. Like I
kids?
said, there'll be a lot of science-related activities for the kids to do with Museum of Discovery being there. We also have they'll have science shows that they'll um, kind of walk through their exhibits or the stuff that they have that they do at the Museum of Discovery in Little Rock that they kind of bring here on the road. And then we'll also have our Arkansas PBS character meet and greets presented by Texas Roadhouse. So we'll have favorites from Arkansas PBS there on Saturday and Sunday for a couple hours each day for the kids to take pictures and say hello to some of their favorite TV friends.
Yeah. So there's a lot of events for kids. Do we still have the choirs, the kids choirs singing? Is that a Friday afternoon or Saturday?
So over the Caldwell Toyota Total Kid Zone, it's in front of the county offices, county building. So they'll have, I believe, the choir performances start Saturday. There might be a couple on Friday evening, but I believe the majority of them will be on Saturday and Sunday. So And then there's something new this year. We're also going to have, thanks to Bargain Brothers, we're going to have a couple of movie nights at the festival at Total Kid Zone. So we're showing Encanto and Space Jam: A New Legacy. So we'll have those. They'll be, I believe Friday. I should know this. I believe it's Friday and Saturday night at 6:30. But you can check the calendar on toadsuck.org to double check me and make sure I'm right. But those are the two movies. What?
Yeah, that's the web address, toadsuck.org.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we'll put that in the show notes. It's also all over the Conway Scene website. We actually have a big Toad Suck Daze page, and we have information there and links to the Toad Suck Daze, to the events page, and all that kind of thing. One year, I think it was last year, I met Curious George out there in front of the courthouse, and that was the highlight of my weekend right there.
Curious George will be back this year, so you might have a chance to see him again. So
he won't recognize me. He won't recognize me. They look different, so he won't recognize me. But that was always a fun thing. Kettle popcorn. I mean, everybody wants to get their kettle popcorn, right? That's always a popular thing. You have the truck pool. That's a big deal. Everybody likes to do the truck pool, right?
You're talking about
the fire truck, the fire truck pool. I think adults do that one.
Yeah, Saturday. So it's in the same. I believe it's the same area as the trawl. I can't talk now. Crawl, drag, and squirt. So it's the same.
Yeah, it's all up by the fire department. They kind of give you a chance to, see what it's like to be a fireman. That's for the kids. But then you have the adults who do the fire truck pool.
Yeah. I missed that last year.
A lot of ways to test your mettle, if you will. And there's definitely a lot of arts and crafts going on, a lot of vendors from arts and crafts that will be there. So you have a chance to peruse homemade stuff, which I think is really cool. It's always a lot of fun to look at that. Let's switch gears to the entertainment. We have Friday night, Brown Keith Hines, looks like a country artist maybe.
Yeah,
Brad Daddy in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about those three?
So, as you know, I think you know, Adam Hambrick started with us. I guess it's been 3 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years, as our creative director. And so he's been a really great addition. He's helped us, bring in some great acts over the last couple of years. And so this year we're having kind of a bluegrass night. So Bronwyn, Sad Daddy, Arkansas are all kind of in that bluegrass genre. And actually, Bronwyn, Keith Hines, recently won a Grammy. She was part of a band that they were awarded the Bluegrass Album of the Year at the Grammys. So can come see a Grammy award-winning fiddle player at Toad Suck on Friday. So, and then obviously Sad Daddy and Arkansas have their own kind of strong following. That's been a popular one I've noticed on Facebook since we announced that.
All three of those artists are from Arkansas. Is that correct?
I know Arkansas is, and I believe Sad Daddy. Bronwyn, I'm not sure on.
One of the things I think was really fascinating about last year is Adam had this girl for Saturday night I'd never heard of named Haley Witter. Like, who is this girl? And I got a friend of mine said, "Oh, you gotta listen to this song. You'll love this song." And I did. I love this song. And like a week before she came, or maybe it was a week after, she won like CMA Best New Artist of the Year. So I was like, "Well, that was a good get. So good job for that." So you always have some local artists on Saturday afternoon. That's one thing I really like. And so you got Sophie Derelics coming on around 3:55. And Christy Huff. I'm not really familiar with Christy Huff. Is she also local area?
So she is from Arkansas, and she actually performed last year. So she is returning again, and she's kind of in that country genre. She was popular last year, so we figure she'll be another good performance this year.
Now, Sophie and the Relics were at Illuminate. That's the first time I saw them. I was very impressed. They're all like teenagers or something.
Yeah,
and
they are.
And like she's from Greenbrier or something like that. So they're all really local. They're really picked up a good following since Illuminate. I noticed they were in Mountain View here a while back. I think for the Eclipse or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I think they will have. Who is Midnight South?
So Midnight South is another local band. They're kind of in that. They play a lot of country, but they'll also kind of delve into the. I mean, not fully rock stuff, but I mean, it's a little bit like that. They've been. They were won the Entertainer of the Year award last year for the Arkansas Country Music Awards. So a popular band with another following that love to see them. So I think there'll be another show that you don't want to miss. Toad Suck Daze.
Once you get, let me tell you, once you get down there, you're not really in a hurry to leave because you kind
Yeah.
of get pinned in, and you smell the barbecue. Like, okay, I know I was grabbing a turkey leg, I think from I can't remember the name of that barbecue place. They had a truck down there. Like, go go. It was actually a barbecue sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Then you got some guy at 720 that people may have heard of.
Yeah.
I think his name is Chris Allen.
Yeah.
So you were able to get Chris to come back and
Mark.
to be on the yeah. Got much
I
to say
think this.
about Chris?
Yeah. So I mean, this will be fun for him to get to perform on the Chris Allen stage at Toad
Yeah,
Suck.
that's right. Chris Allen on Chris Allen stage,
Yeah.
but he's
So
not the headliner.
I know, yeah. So he'll be opening for our headliner Matt Still, another country artist. So, but yeah, Chris. I think we've wanted to have him for a few years, and I think he's wanted to come for a few years. It just hasn't worked out scheduling wise.
Sure.
And Adam was able to secure him this year. So obviously, former American Idol winner. I guess it's been more than 10 years now. But
Yeah.
I think
13, 14 years, something like that.
yeah, so I mean, I feel like he'll have quite the following that'll come out for that. So a lot of people seem to be excited to see him back in Conway.
Usually, in my experience, I haven't stayed around too much for the later people. I think the year that Steve Earle here, I stayed, like, listened to a song or two of his before I left. By the time you get to that last artist, it's crowded downtown. I mean,
Yeah,
I see people bringing their own chairs, which is probably a really good idea. Um, and with Chris performing before Matt Stell, you got to think that by 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's going to be rocking and rolling down there.
I'm interested to see the show. You mentioned Soviet and the Relics and at Illuminate. I didn't know that I'd heard the band, but it wasn't registering with me that they were playing. And I was up at the chamber doing some stuff, and I heard music coming over the speakers, and I was like, oh, I guess we're playing. I guess Dolly Parton or like Patsy Cline has a Christmas album that we're playing, and then I walked down there later. I was like, oh no, it's this 15, 16-year-old girl that sounds exactly
Yeah.
like them. So I feel like
Yeah.
each artist that we've got, I mean, even on Friday too, I feel like each artist that we got on Saturday has, a loyal following. And I think them being local, a lot of them being local or having local ties is going to help. So I'm interested to see kind of the crowd size throughout the night. I think it could be bigger than what we anticipate or used to with those, especially with Sophie and the Relics starting at 3:55. I think there could be
Yeah.
more than we usually see around that time, just
Well,
because of
and
their
you said
popularity.
Christy was there last year, so she'll
Uh-huh.
have a following as well.
Yeah.
And then we don't know who the first one is yet. That's still being decided
So
upon.
we're still finalizing that, and I think we may even, if I remember right, we may even add maybe some. Well, Friday probably not, just from timing getting everything ready. But yeah, Saturday I think we were looking to add some more earlier in the day, so there may be some more local bands that fill in that schedule throughout the afternoon before evening rolls around with those acts.
Maybe we can get the duet of Jamie Gates and Brad Lacey to play that spot.
Yeah, I think we'd just turn away people at that point. So probably don't want to do that.
Well, yeah. What else you want to highlight before we wrap this thing up? I mean, you have all
Um,
the normal stuff that we do every year. There's actually a film documentary this short year as
so
well.
yeah, we do have two film documentaries that are going to be shown. So they'll be over at the Max over
Yeah.
on what's their official address? 10 1007 Smithers Street. So we'll have one on Friday. That's Dusty and Stones. That will include a Q&A with the film director. And then on Saturday, we'll be showing Arkansas Wild, the story of trout tourism on the Little Red River. So people may have seen that one. That one's been shared on Arkansas PBS. I think it's been shown on the local PBS station here. And he's kind of been making the rounds around the state since he's Benjamin, as the director's name, has released the documentary. So yeah, that's something new that I feel like will bring a new audience to Toad Suck. We're trying to, we always try to broaden the reach that we can have. We've got our arts and crafts, we've got the food, we've got the fair type, the rides. And then we've got the entertainment with music. So this is another venue that we can include that, adds to the strength of Toad Suck Daze, but also, brings in a little bit of a new audience with a documentary. So
that's just about complete the trifecta of art, right? You got music and entertainment. You got
right.
Documentary, all the art and crafts, vendors that'll be selling stuff. I mean, that's it really is a premium arts and crafts show with some rides thrown in. Not to say that rides aren't important, but you'll occupy that commuter lot with all the various fair rides, and you got fair food if you want the fair food.
Very, very true. We'll have all the corn dogs, gator on a stick, anything fried, turkey legs, just about anything, lemonade, anything you could want ever will be available at Toad Suck Daze. So,
what do people need to remember this year going to Toad Suck Daze?
I guess there's one other thing that I would mention. So we talked about it before we started, but Sunday, we're kind of we've gone back to having more entertainment on Sunday. So this year, we traditionally, City Church will come have their Sunday morning service there at 10:30, but in the afternoon we're going to have three acts on Sunday. So we're happy about that. We'll have Destiny Worship Music is kicking things off, and then we'll have Josh Baldwin and David Leonard. So those guys are two well-known artists. So Josh Baldwin, singer-songwriter, but was part of Bethel Music Collective for a while. And then David Leonard was part of All Sons and Daughters, Grammy-nominated duo. So a lot of people know him from that. So I think those will be additional things that are different, additional entertainment acts that people will be excited about on Sunday. So come out and see those guys. And then also something we didn't talk about, something new that we're doing this year is the Native State Totally Outdoors area. So this is going to be at the corner of Oak and Parkway in the District Court parking lot there. So we're going to have a lot of stuff, again, geared toward kids, geared towards the sciences. So we'll have a lot of different demonstrations throughout the week. Kids can kind of build and tinker with things. We're also talking about having, I think it was mud pies. So the parents will be very excited about that. I know the kids will love it. And parents will really, really love it, speaking as a parent. So we'll have that. And then we'll also should have a inflatable archery range from Game and Fish. So a lot of stuff for kids to do throughout the weekend over there as well. Also should have some kind of classes. We're still working on all the programming that's going to go there, but just remember that, Oak and Parkway Street, a lot of fun stuff for kids to do over at Native State Totally Outdoors.
Yeah, so that's somewhat different than Ticker Fest, I guess. They're both science related, but one is.
Yes, this is more related to what you can do outdoors. So gardening, hunting, fishing, that sort of thing. That's what we're kind of going for over in this area. So related with the sciences, but yeah, just a little bit different. So
nice. I mean, you covered the gamut of STEAM, right? Science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. It's all in one carnival, all in one festival. Very good. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show and telling us a little bit about what's going to happen this year. Every year, there's always something a little bit different. No more stuck on a truck or beating up a old car, but we still have plenty of things to do.
Right. That's good.
Thanks for coming on the show today, Lee. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.